Good morning to you all. Today we're going to continue with personal narrative writing, and I'm going to give you a personal narrative example. First, let's define a personal narrative. A personal narrative is a true story about a memorable event in your life. This event may be really big, such as traveling to a foreign country, meeting the president, or it could be fairly ordinary, like having dinner at your grandparents' house or going to the mall. The most important thing about this personal narrative is that the writer, who is you, learned a lesson worth sharing. Now, this is your assignment. You need to write a personal narrative about a time you made a mistake. Before we start writing, we need to think that it's really okay to make a mistake. And mistakes are really important because they teach us lessons we don't learn in a classroom or in a book. And it's up to you either to fix your mistakes or to live with the consequences. Before you start writing, you have to answer the following questions. Have you ever said something that you wish you could take back? Have you ever made a decision that turned out to be a bad one? Have you ever accidentally hurt someone's feelings? Have you ever done something wrong that wasn't on purpose? If you say yes to any of these questions, then you have a topic for your personal narrative. Before you start writing, of course, you need to gather ideas. You need to identify the mistake you made. You need to tell and describe the people who were involved. And you need to tell us about the result of your mistake and what you learned from your mistake. Of course, the first step of writing a personal narrative is to put the events in the order they happened. Of course, you need to write your narrative in chronological order, which means you should write the events in the order they happened. And of course, before you start writing, you need to make a timeline that includes the most important events that led to your mistake and the events that resulted from the mistake. Here's an example of a timeline. You need to include only the most important events in your personal narrative. And now you can start writing your first draft. Of course, you need to divide your narrative into 3 sections, beginning, middle, and end. And you need to start new paragraphs by skipping a line or indenting a space before you write more. Your first draft should start with a beginning paragraph. And in your beginning paragraph, you need to be talking about the setting and characters. You need to describe the setting of your story, meaning the time and place of your story, and you need to present the characters, the people who were involved in your story. This is an example of a beginning paragraph, and as we said, this is our first draft. You may suggest any changes to my first draft and in the comments sections, of course, and we will rewrite our story again. So this is the beginning paragraph. It was my 11th birthday and I was sitting at the dining room table with all my friends. Well, actually, I was sitting there with all my friends and Jerry. Last June, Jerry showed he wasn't my friend when he had our whole class over to his swimming pool in the middle of the school day. He knew I couldn't swim. Now let's move to the middle part of our narrative story. Of course, the middle part includes the main actions and events. And here's an example. Sam started laughing about Jerry's silly new haircut. This was my party, and I knew that if I joined in, everybody else would too. So I shouted out, "Who cut your hair, Jerry, your baby sister?" And now this is the concluding paragraph. Of course, the concluding paragraph should include the solution and the lesson I learned from my mistake. Jerry said he was sorry and that he had forgotten that I couldn't swim. Then we both went back to my party. Next time one of my friends upsets me, I'll tell him why I'm angry instead of trying to get even. Remember, this is my first draft. It's not the final piece of writing. In our next video, we're gonna write our final piece of writing, and we're gonna make some changes to the beginning, middle, and end of this story. This is the end of our video. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you later. Bye.